Hey guys, what's up? Merry Christmas. I know I'm a day late with this video, but with everything that was going on yesterday, I couldn't find any time to shoot a video. And pardon my cough, and I don't sound very good. My allergies are acting up. But as you can see, I'm on the LA 150 here. I'm riding back from my uncle's place. About a month ago, actually, I made a 3-month cold start video about this tractor, and the day after I shot that video, we took it up to our friend Mr. Brown up in the next town, and he's a farmer, and he's also an electrician. And, well, actually, he does everything. He rebuilt the carburetor on my 210, and now it runs fine. And he does electrical work too. So we took the LA 150 up to him, and we just unloaded it at my uncle's place. I don't have a hill to unload it at my place, so backed it up off the truck, and I'm bringing her home now. I have the mower deck off because it wouldn't fit through the gate, and it wouldn't fit on the truck either. But yeah, Mr. Brown actually fixed the problem, which is a miracle, because we thought after all this many times that we tried, checking it over, we couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, and sure enough, after a quick diagnosis, they fixed it. So that worked out great. I'll get more in depth with it when I get home, but right now I'm just driving it home, and I have an update video to do about the 210, because I've been doing some stuff on the 210 as well. So let me get home real quick, and then I'll show you guys what to do with this thing. But it's good to have this thing back. I don't know how much longer I'll have it before I sell it, because I got to upgrade to a new mower, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so I got her home now. Here she is. Let's just have another look at her. I mean, it's been a month, a little more than a month, but after a quick diagnostic, they fixed the electrical problem. Mr. Brown fixed it, and you can see he left the old parts in here. And this was the culprit, which I suspected all along. The stator. It basically acts like a magnet, and it screws in under the flywheel, and it draws the electric current from under the flywheel. And we figured, since it wasn't the solenoid, it wasn't the battery, since the battery was replaced 3 times, and it wasn't the voltage regulator, it had to have been the stator. And sure enough, it was. After he checked it out, it was the stator. So he just went to the John Deere dealer, replaced the stator. I'm going to get rid of that one. And I mean, you can't see it now. It's underneath, but he had to take the shroud off here and take the flywheel off and do all that stuff. And he pulled this old stator off of it and put a new one on it, and now it holds a charge like it should. And this stator was just bad from the factory. That's the problem, because well, it was first bought at Lowe's, and the guy who had it before us only had to put about 5 hours on it and then got rid of it, because he said it was having electrical problems. And then when we bought it, it wasn't having electrical problems, and then after a while it started to get those electrical problems again. So we were lucky when we bought it, but then it just ended up being like bad luck. So I'll close the hood. Yeah, this I have to get rid of, because this has been the culprit all along. It's just trash, and it's not the cheapest part, but you know what? It was worth it, because now we don't have to worry about these stupid problems anymore. I have the mower deck in the garage. I still have to put it on. They put up a 4-foot fence in the lane down there, and that's a 54-inch deck, so the biggest it'll fit is a 48-inch deck, or actually a 46, so the 210 can fit through with the deck, but this one can't. That's one problem about having a big deck, is that sometimes you can't fit it in tight spots. So 48 or 46 inches is good for me. About a month ago when I had it here, the front tires, when I tried backing it in, the tire went flat and turned itself completely inward and knocked itself out of line. So I had to fix the wheel alignment. It's not too bad, but the 210 actually has a problem with the wheel alignment too. I gotta straighten that out. It shouldn't be too bad though. But yeah, so we get the electrical problem fixed now. It's really, I feel like all those other videos I made about the electrical problems were such a waste, but and it's holding the charge too. It sounded like the battery was low when I cranked it up to bring it home, but I mean, the headlights work fine. You can hear the clutch engaging. So it all works as it should. It's got like 146 hours on it now, I think, which is actually, I mean, most people would get rid of a 100 series tractor around this point, and its time has come. I mean, it's served us good for about 6 years, but I just need to upgrade because I can't use this thing any longer to mow 5, 6, 7 yards a week, and I can't really use the Cub Cadet either because that's my grandfather's tractor, and it's a garden tractor, but it's not a commercial mower. So the 210, I can still use that because that'll last the longest out of all three of them. It'll have to be a backup though. So I got the mower deck over here. I just pulled it out of the garage, and I'm gonna mount it up, and we'll see how it works. It's been a while since the deck's actually been turned because I took it off about a month ago, and before that I hadn't even used it. So let's have another look at it here. I'll mount the deck up, and then we'll go see if we can park it in the shed. It'll be tight because I have the Yard King parts all over the place, but okay, the mower deck's all mounted up and ready to go, and let's see how she starts and runs. Should be pretty easy, I would think so. I don't think it'll need choke, but just in case. Yeah, maybe. Let's move her around a little bit. Let's do a quick test run, see how she cuts. The deck hasn't been on it. I'm really just blowing leaves because the grass isn't coming up at all. There's your proof for you. Now let's put her away. I knew it would work. I think the video's sideways. Okay, that's the LA150 for you. Now the electrical problem's all fixed, so if I have to take her out again, I shouldn't have to charge a battery up. Let's see what we can do, get ready to sell her. I have a few things to touch up, like a couple scratches to fix and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it for the LA150. And now on to the 210. Yeah, you can probably tell this looks like a bit of a mess here, but I got some new stuff for Christmas that I have been wanting to get for a long time for this tractor, and I finally got them. This is really an unsafe and ridiculous way to do this, but believe it or not, I actually don't have a jack stand, so this is going to have to do. You see I have the back wheels off, and I'm going to be swapping the tires because these two back tires, these old Goodyears, they still have some good tread, but they don't hold air. They're cracked all in the middle, as you can see. They were like that since I got the tractor, and it's time to get rid of them because I have to blow them up with air every time I use them, and I'm just getting sick of it. And I wanted to upgrade. Originally, I wanted to upgrade to Carlisle Field Tracks, or not Field Tracks, True Powers, which are like tractor tires, lug tires. But the problem with the kind of grass that I mow and with all my neighbors' yards is that they would tear the grass up. They're great for traction, but they tear the grass up. And I didn't want to have to keep doing like NASCAR tire changes between turfs and lug tires. So I settled for something right in the middle, and these will actually help after I got the tractor stuck in the creek last month. Here you go. These are Carlisle All Trails heavy duty all-purpose tires, or HDAPs as people call them. They're similar to what John Deere uses on some of the heavy duty models now, like the X500s and the X700s. A lot of them come standard with tires like these. They use Carlisle Field Tracks, which are similar, but the treads are a little smaller, and they're 2-ply. These are 4-ply tires, so they're a lot heavier duty and more durable. And you can tell they're new because they got the little nubs on them, fresh cut. American-made tires. I didn't want any of the D-Stone Chinese stuff on an American tractor like this because these came with Goodyears originally. It's a 23 by 10.5 by 12, just like those turf tires over there. But so I just went with the 23-inch tires. I got these for Christmas because unfortunately I couldn't afford them between trying to buy the other parts for this and the parts for the Yard King and everything. So it was a nice break. I didn't have to pay for these, but that was like my big gift this year, and I'm thankful for it. Still got the tags on them. They come strapped together, and they're very heavy duty. You see, they have this almost diamond tread, like a zigzag tread, and they have these nice deep treads on them, as you can see, deeper than the turf tires, and they'll last for a very long time. And these are good for everything, just like the X500 multi-terrain tractors. You can mow the grass with these. You can climb hills. You can go through the mud. You can go over rough ground. It won't hurt them. These are actually similar to what they use on four-wheelers and quads and all kinds of off-road vehicles. I'm not sure if they were designed specifically for garden tractors, but people over time just started to adapt them to fit their garden tractors. So, and all I have to do is just get a bead breaker, break those tires off, and then swap the rims over, and it should be good to go. These go through pretty much anything. They're very good for everything. And I was going to get a pair of turf or lug tires, but I don't think I'll need them. Not now, anyway. And if I decide to enter this tractor into the pull, the garden tractor pull up at the fair over the summer, I think these will be useful anyway, because I see guys pull with turf tires on and they still do as good, but these will do even better. They get more traction that way. And these are good for plowing snow too. Sometimes people don't need to use these with chains or weights or anything like that. I mean, it's ideal to use them with weights, but these have good traction, good tread on them, so you don't really need chains. A good alternative is to actually fill your tires up with a lot of people use water, but water freezes in the winter. A lot of people use antifreeze or washer fluid, but washer fluid is corrosive, so it eats the tires out, and it's toxic too. So what I've heard to use is a product called Rim Guard, which is like a hybrid between all that stuff. It's non-corrosive and non-toxic, and it's just like RV antifreeze. And I think I might look into buying some of that. I got to figure out where to buy it first, but you can add like 150 pounds to each tire just by filling them up like that. Here's the 46-inch deck. I picked this up last week. I dropped it off about a month ago at our friend Robert's shop down the road, and he sandblasted it for me just like he did the 210. Did a great job. I mean, she kept the pulleys on the spindles, and I really didn't want him to do that, but he lashed everything. He got, I mean, there's the draft arms, idler pulley, there's the deflector chute, and the cover. He got everything this time. Now I just have to prime and paint it. And I mean, there's a little bit of sand in the pulley, which is kind of, it doesn't spin as freely as it should. Something's still wrong with this one. I'm not exactly sure. I think there's a piece of string or something caught in this, because this thing is hard to turn. It was like that when I got it. It's all clean and everything. Most of the rust is off of it, and now I just have to prime and paint it. And then I'll have a nice looking deck. I asked him to keep the decals on. The decals turned out kind of crappy, so I think I might just sand them off. Sand them off. But yeah. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. I have, here's all my parts over here. I mean, there's the blades that I wire wheeled down, and there's all the gauge wheels and all the bolts that need to be replaced. For Christmas, I got an impact wrench with a 1/2-inch socket drive. So now I'm able to, you know, take the pulleys on and off. I just have to get the right sockets for 1/2-inch drive instead of a 3/8. And I also got an angle grinder, as you can see here. It's an old Black & Decker, so now I can sharpen my own blades. And these actually don't look too bad. I mean, it's hard to tell here. They're still a little rough, so they do need to be sharpened. But yeah, so now I can do all that stuff myself. I just have to figure out where I'm going to do it, probably outside. And finally, you probably already noticed this, but I got a new seat for it, or actually it's a seat recover kit. You can get this for about $60 from the John Deere dealer, and it's a simple kit. Basically, it's just a new foam cushion and the seal that goes around it with the clip on the bottom. The old cushion, there's a clip. The old cushion was in decent shape, but it was all faded. You can see here. And as it got colder outside, it started to get brittle and crack a lot, and I didn't want that. It didn't have all those cracks when I got the tractor, though. That crack was just in it, and that one there. But you can see how faded it really is. And just for comparison, I mean, look, same size. The foam is a little bit thicker on this one. It's the same pattern. The 318s and bigger models had a slightly different pattern. This is like a rib cage style pattern. The 318s were made of a bunch of other like squares and stuff like that. And you can see the difference here. It's that simple. See, there's the old seal and everything. I saved the seat pan. I saved myself from having to buy a whole new seat because the seat pan wasn't bad. I just sanded it down and repainted it a while ago with Blitz Black, and then I clear coated it. And I was just going to get a cushion because once I found out you could get a cushion instead of buying a whole new seat, I was excited. And I got this for Christmas too, so I saved myself from having to buy a seat too, so I could use that money to put towards other parts. And this is very similar to that other seat. This one has another set of ribs, I guess you want to call them. It's a good soft material, and it's not brittle and it doesn't crack as easily. And it's a little dirty around the edges, but I'll just wipe that up. It's got the, you know, it's real because it's from the John Deere dealer, and it's not an aftermarket because it has John Deere on it. A lot of the cheap aftermarket ones you buy don't have that on them, so be careful if you want something authentic. Installing it wasn't too hard. You have the clip there, and what you do is you take a pair of needle nose pliers, you break the clip, and then you can peel off the seal from here and then go all the way around it. I would recommend taking the seat off of the springs first because it makes it so much easier. I had to bring it inside and flip it upside down to work on it. It was a little bit of a challenge, but definitely worth it. You have to just, a lot of times people use a heat gun. I actually didn't have to use a heat gun. I got lucky just to get the wrinkles and stuff out of it and to make it stretch, because there's a lot of behind the pad there's a lot of excess foam, and you have to bend that down and then trim it all off. And I did that. I trimmed it. You can see there's actually still some bad spots showing here because the foam isn't thick enough. That's where you need heat for, because the heat will make that expand. But it doesn't look too bad. I actually cheated. I taped, you can't really see here, but I taped in the corners there where it comes around the bend, and then I just slipped the seal right onto it. And the seal, once you get the seal onto it and hit it down nice and hard, it'll stay. And it looks great too. It's not brittle or anything. And then afterwards, like I said, there's excess foam around it. It doesn't look very clean here, but I went through with a a box cutter and just trimmed up a lot of the rough edges. I couldn't get everything. I wish I could have gotten everything, but from a distance you really can't notice it, and it looks great. It's a good comfy seat. I mean, I had this nice restored tractor, and then I had this crappy looking seat on it, so I'm glad I have it now. That's basically everything with the 210 right now too. I mean, you guys saw the LA150, now you saw the 210, and I have some more stuff to look forward to. Pretty soon I'll get those tires mounted up in time for mowing season, and I'll get started working on that mower deck too. I'll probably keep you guys updated on that, and yeah, there you guys go. That's what's going on with the John Deeres right now, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope you all had a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This will probably be the last video I make before the New Year, so it may or may not be. I'm not sure, but yeah, the 210's really coming along. The restoration is starting to really get finished now. Thanks for watching, and take care, guys.